Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Tanks Xbox 360 edition. I am Knight in Phoenix. Today I am taking out the M103, which is the American Tier 9 heavy tank. The map is South Coast and it is encounter battle. I am platooned up with Shadow, who is in his T-30, which is the American Tier 9 tank destroyer. Now this video isn't really that much about the M103 that I'm playing or the T-30 that Shadow is playing or even the T-110E5, the American Tier 10 heavy tank, which we'll see here shortly. This video is really all about the Waffle E100 and what can happen when you get yourself in front of one of them. Now, the Waffle E100, it's a German Tier 10 tank destroyer. It's also more commonly known as the Waffle. In the game, you'll see it as the WTAUF E100. And the Waffle is also an autoloader, which simply means it has a 6-round clip. It can fire each one of those rounds approximately every 2 seconds. After it's fired all 6 rounds, it takes approximately 1 minute to reload. I believe each shell has an average damage of around 560. So if you do the math, within, let's see, 6 rounds every 2 seconds, you got like 12 seconds. Let's call it 15 for good measure. So every 15 seconds, he is really capable of dishing out approximately 3,300, 3,400 damage. Then he goes and hides for a minute, reloads, and starts all over again. Alrighty, so I am following Shadow. We're almost to the coast here on the map, South Coast, so I guess that's where he gets his name, although it kind of looks like the West Coast. We'll typically find some enemy down here on the beach, and right off the bat, Shadow does take a shot. Unfortunately here there's only one corner and 3 vehicles, so I'm just going to kind of try and move out a little bit and hope that I can get my sights on something and not be spotted. We do see a target up ahead. At the same time, my sixth sense does go off. I'm assuming Shadows has as well, since he is backed up in the cover. The target we see is a Tier 8 Indian Panzer. We do take a shot as he's moving and we do miss. It almost looked like we hit something before the shell reached him. So Shadow's working the corner. That 110E5 that I mentioned earlier is in front of him. The 110E5 is the next step up from the M103. I believe it has the same gun that the M103 has. The 120mm has a little bit more penetration, maybe a little bit more accuracy. The Shadow and the E5 move up as I detect the Waffle coming from the far side of the beach. At this point I'm letting Shadow know that there is a Waffle heading down the far side of the beach and we need to address that situation. Unfortunately, Shadow is continuing his push up to the flag area. I'm looking for cover. I'm hoping there's a little bit of a ridge here that will get me out of the line of sight of that Waffle. Unfortunately, there is no cover. His first shot comes in, takes my tracks off. His second shot does 570 damage to me. Third shot, he gets 542 on me. Another shot, 561. His fifth shot, he tracks me, and the sixth shot, he kills me. So I played this back frame by frame and discovered it took him 12.7 seconds to take away all 1,750 of my hit points. Now, I did have a repair kit. I could have fixed my tracks, but as you saw, it would have been just a total waste of 3,000 silver. So Shadow knows I am now dead. I'm not sure there was really anything he could have done about it. I never saw the Waffle. I did see where his tracers were coming from, and I did put a shot into him just by shooting where I saw the tracers. So I've let Shadow know what happened, where that Waffle is, that he did fire all 6 shots at me, and he's probably back there reloading at some point. So you can see him now. I think maybe it was the E5, just got a shot on him, but watch that E5 in front of Shadow here. Now the E5 is only on about 60% health, but that's 1, 2, and 3 shots, he's down. So again, looking at the frame markers on the video, it took actually 4.7 seconds for that Waffle to kill the E5. And I believe it was 3 shots, so he's probably got at least 2 or 3 remaining, so maybe that's why he pulled out, but Shadow had reloaded and was able to take him out of the game. So there are those vehicles you never ever want to be in front of in the game, and the Waffle is certainly one of them. A good Waffle player will try to track you first. Once he tracks you, he still has 5 shells left, which is capable of dealing approximately 2,800 damage, which can kill every vehicle in the game except for the mouse, I believe. So I don't think there are any other vehicles in the game that are capable of dishing out the type of damage that the Waffle does in such a short period of time. A quick note for those who don't know, don't go through that water that he just passed on the left. You will drown. Now, there are plenty of other autoloaders in the game. I don't think any of them have the capability of dishing out like 550, 560 damage per shot. There may be, I just haven't come up across them. Now, I guess the counterbalance to its incredible firepower is the weakness of the turret. The turret armor on the Waffle is basically non-existent. If you ever do meet one, you shoot it in the turret. Biggest problem is if you just met that Waffle and you haven't seen him before, you don't know if he's loaded or not. Now, the biggest problem is, as I do the math, even if he wasn't loaded and I knew he had fired all his rounds and was just starting to reload, I got 1 minute to mess with him, do the best damage I can on him. You know, my M103 has a reload of approximately 11 seconds. And my shells do an average of about 400 damage per shell. And the Waffle has 2,000 hit points. So on average, I have to hit him 5 times to take all of his health. So it'll take me 55 seconds, which is actually his reload time. So in theory it's possible. In actuality, if you have them, you're better off loading a high explosive shell and shooting them in the turret. The turret is only supposed to have 20 millimeters of armor, so a high explosive should penetrate and do full damage, which is going to be considerably more than the 400. Alright, so that is the end of my, I don't know, you want to call it a rant? My feelings about the Waffle, why you don't ever want to be in front of a Waffle. You know, why I made 3,300 silver here and didn't lose 20,000, I can't really tell you, other than I did get 1 hit into that Waffle. So Shadow was obviously the hero of the game here, 3,800 damage and 5 kills, 381 assists. And our E5 did do 2,500 damage before the Waffle took him out of the game. Okay, so that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. If you did, I would appreciate you clicking the like button. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave them below in the comments section. If you haven't already subscribed, please feel free to do so. You'll get notifications of when I post new videos. And as always, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.